This is what it's all for. Playing for the next step on a road to a title.
Now signal when we get out there. Let's get after it. Here we go. Hey, set it, don't.
Playing for each other. Playing just to keep playing. One more night. The best of the best separate from the rest. On Sportsline Friday night.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Steve Schneider, Jacques Doucet. Steve, I kid you not, the other day we were shooting 7-on-7. It was July, and then the season just flew by like a NASCAR race, and here we are, start of the postseason.
Well, at least tonight we didn't have the 7-on-7 temps, right? Nice, crisp
right.
weather for football, and what a lineup we have, starting with an old-fashioned rivalry. Denim Springs and Central, they play every year, and this time they played twice. Central won the regular season game 34-7. It was right after the Yellow Jackets lost their quarterback. Ray McNeely, their running back, stepped in, played some quarterback, but they lost that one 34-7. Mr. McNeely was not about to let that happen this time around. You saw him there on a hard run early, then on a third down, picks up the first down. First play of the second quarter, here he goes again. The former Sportsline Player of the Week rolls into the end zone, and the Yellow Jackets go in front of the Wildcats on their home turf 7-0. Central, with that home crowd, can't get anything going on offense. They're back to punt. Maurice Stewart has his kick blocked by Jude Horn. Ethan Foster houses it for a touchdown, and just like that, Brett Beard and the boys are up 14-0. The Wildcats would eventually respond, get on the board down in Denim Springs territory. Gavin Vaccaro, the direct snap to Jonathan Swift, the quarterback, who finds Jalen Brown for the touchdown, 14-7. Central's on the board. But in the next drive, Yellow Jackets are going back to McNeely. Here he goes again, taking the handoff, breaking a tackle, getting into the open spaces and running away. 55 yards for this touchdown. Denim Springs led it 21-7 at the half. They're a 27 seed playing a 6 seed and have that big lead. Let's take you to the fourth quarter. Still 21-7. McNeely takes the handoff, jukes one tackler, then another, finds some open space up against the boundary. He is finally tackled. You saw he stayed in bounds. They're trying to run the clock. They're trying to score again. McNeely, third touchdown of the game right here. Just about the nail in the coffin. 28-7 at this point. Central's offense has to do something in a hurry. Jonathan Swift is picked off by Mason Varese. He had 2 picks on the night for the Jackets. Later in the quarter, 28-14, McNeely. He already had the hat trick. Now he's got 4 touchdowns on the night. 35-14 at that point. Denim Springs with a shocker tonight. 42-14. They go into Central and beat their rivals to advance. They will take on Ouachita Parish, which won over Sulphur 40-7.
I came across a Denim Springs parent this week who said, I have a feeling about Friday, and boy, he was right. All right, let's talk about Santa Ma and HL Bourgeois. And you see Bo Bursajay, the outstanding kicker, warming up. Could he be a factor in the second half in a close game? Santa Ma, great defense. Dylan Carpenter with the big stick there in the backfield. And then Santa Ma on offense, Cole Poirier heaving it, the long pass to DeAndre Taylor. Boy, he's well protected. Got all day back there. A nice tight spiral into the hands of Taylor. We go to the fourth quarter now. Poirier with the shotgun snap. He's going to carry himself and powers his way into the end zone for the 21-13 lead in favor of the Gators. More Gator defense trying to protect that lead. Stephen Landry of the Gators shuts down HL Bourgeois in the second half. And then Santa Ma's number 7, Joshua Morrissey, the touchdown run here for some more cushion to make it 27-13 Santa Ma. And the final score this evening is that. So they win by a couple of scores, and Dutchtown and Acadiana also paired with that bracket.
And so let's check that out and see who they'll face next. The Rams, the Wrecking Rams at home, already leading the Griffins 22-7 in the third quarter. Mary Wiggins punching it in, and that's a 29-7 Wrecking Rams lead. But here come the Griffins. Big play from Baylor Langlois, 40-yard touchdown. They're on the board for a second time, 29-14 as we go to the fourth quarter. But from there, it's more of the Rams. Wiggins, 45-yard run. And they eventually cash in another touchdown to go ahead 36-14. Your final was 43-14. So Acadiana will pair up with Sanamaw in the next round.
Okay, just a reminder of how to keep up with the show as it progresses here on Sportsline Friday night. Don't forget you can watch us on the app, and also we'll be switching over to WBXH at 10:35 p.m. That's Cox 16 on the dial. All right, much more coming up. Landry Williams, Madison Prep Chargers won a state title last year. They're looking to win another one. Tonight they were hosting those good old Cajun boys from Kaplan, Louisiana. Tony Lewis, nice run for Madison Prep here on the opening possession. Then Zion Chris, little play action, fires the dart to Traylon James for the touchdown. PAT was no good, but Madison Prep out to the 6-0 lead. Then Chris drops back in the pocket. Can't really find something that he's looking for, so he takes off and makes something happen with his legs. Kaplan, the Pirates, cannot make the tackle, and Chris is going into the end zone for the long score there at Memorial Stadium. Madison Prep having a good old time, and that would lead to a little bit later. Chris, the quick read and the nice throw to Hezekiah Dantzler. 19-0 before you know it, and Madison Prep had their way this evening with Kaplan, who is a strong program. 40-6 the final.
Would they be paired up with the team that won the 3A championship the last time it was played in the Dome the year before? Robert Valdez and St. James taking on North Webster, which gave LSU and Tampa Bay Devin White. And here is Jamarcus Stevens for them, going untouched for the touchdown. 2-point play, that's 8 points on the board. The only problem for North Webster, St. James was up 27-8. Stevens finding the going tough right here. He's a tough runner, but he's dragged down. They eventually have to go for it on fourth down with time running out, and that pass off the hands of the receiver incomplete. So St. James will take over and take it down the field. Daniel Jupiter headed for Saturn or Mars or somewhere down the sideline. He gets the first down. From there, Braden Williams to Shaz Preston. Touchdown, Wildcats, 34-8 at that point. St. James moving on to take on the Chargers. 34-20 was your final.
All right, we've checked in with Dutchtown and Sanamaw East Ascension. They played on Thursday night. We'll have those highlights and much more here on Sportsline Friday night. All right, Liberty taking on Hannon. Liberty, their Hannon quarterback Billy Colcom runs it to the 9-yard line, or runs it in from the 9-yard line, 7-0 Hannon. But later in the first quarter, here comes Liberty running back Caleb Jackson. And Jackson, big, strong kid, a 45-yard touchdown run to tie things up at 7 apiece. Second quarter, Liberty takes the lead when Kylan Gross tucks it and runs it right up the middle, breaking tackle, staying on his feet, finding the end zone from 54 yards out. Liberty leads 14-7. 2 seconds remaining before the half. Joshua Alonzo scores from the 2-yard line, but Liberty in this game goes on to win it. And this Dre Trosclair, pretty good coach. A lot of success at Ascension Catholic, and now at Liberty in their first year of varsity ball beats Hannon, and then you'll see they'll play St. Thomas more.
Wow, the Cougars, obviously with Walker Howard back, are all of a sudden a force to be reckoned with again. So that's how they work out sometimes. All right, the number 1 seed in 5A, that would be your Zachery Broncos. I talked to David Brewerton today, and he said his guys, first time they've ever been a number 1 seed, even though they've won championships before, said they came to practice and were ready to go. We've got those highlights and a lot more coming up on WBXH, and of course the rest of our show, which will probably go late, past 11 tonight. So join us for that.
All right, it's going to be fun. Much more coming up. not appetizers. This whole thing is steak and lobster, right? Okay, but we are transitioning to the second part of the show and much more.
I can tell you, even the dessert is good. We may have 30 dishes for you tonight. We'll see how many we can get to in the time that we have. All right, we talked about the Zachery Broncos, 5A, number 1 seed, playing the Slidell Tigers tonight. Of course, a home game in the first round. Right out of the chute, it's Eli Holstein, the quarterback. Holstein, I should say, the quarterback, to Jordan Williams, up the left sideline. Big game before the Tigers ride him out of bounds. A few plays later, Holstein back to the air. To work the first time, go back to him. Feed Mr. Williams for the score. Look at those moves for the big guy. Sticks it across the goal line for the touchdown. Broncos in front of Slidell, 7-0. Broncos were trying to get a screen pass going here, but Zavian Barter picks it off for the Tigers, so Slidell a chance to do something on offense. They're going to try a little double pass, and I emphasize the word try. It's not going to be a second throw. It's going to be eaten up in the backfield. Slidell is forced to punt, and the Broncos get the possession once again. Holstein back to pass. This time, going to tuck it and run. He's going to get to the goal line. Check this out. The ball is knocked free. Elijah Harrison, he has a huge return, but then after he's dragged down, the officials confer, they meet, and they decide that ball was across the goal line before it came out. Broncos touchdown, 14-0. Really didn't matter. This was a lopsided game, obviously. The Broncos, the number 1 seed. Final score, 36-0. Zachery meeting the winner of last night's East Ascension Southside game.
All right, Southside, the 16 seed. They had an energized student section for Thursday night's game with EA. First quarter, East Ascension's Walter Samuel, a Sportsline Player of the Week, plowing his way in from 5 yards out, 7-0 Spartans out in front. EA looking to extend the lead on the next drive, but the Sharks' Trent Gilbert had other plans. Big number 99 coming up with the big hit in the backfield, but EA put up lots of points after that, scoring just 3 against Santa Maria after a muff punt. It's Samuel who's again able to cash in. Later on, Troy Dunn looking for Samuel. He's going to get deep into Sharks territory. And on the same drive, Dunn finds Joseph Hobbity for the score coming up. Number 17, seed East Ascension wins it relatively easily, 42-26. So EA and Zachery, Steve, next week.
And it's going to be in Gonzales because East Ascension was on the road the first week. So congratulations to the Spartans for probably having a packed house next week. All right, more 5A football, and the Woodlawn Panthers, a playoff win for the first time in more than a decade, thanks to former LSU quarterback Marcus Randall and his staff beating Natchitoches Central. Christopher Howard raced in for a Chiefs touchdown right off the bat, 7-0, but Ricky Collins will come back and get the Panthers offense in gear, finding Clayton Adams. He'll make his way to the sideline and then to the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. The Panthers would add a 2-point play, go ahead 8-7. Chiefs went back in front 14-8, but Collins back to the air. Kyle Jones with this reception, 15-14, and then Woodlawn just before halftime. Sportsline Player of the Week, Amani Gibbons for a touchdown, capping a 99-yard drive. The play of the game occurred in the second half. Devin Boyd is a D lineman. His initials are DB, and that's what he looks like on this play. He makes a scoop and a score. It's a big man touchdown for DB, Devin Boyd. And the Panthers roll in their game tonight with a big second half. Your final was 42-14. Woodlawn with the victory. Destrehan will be a very worthy opponent in the next round as you see the Wildcats beat West Jeff 48-14. Another big matchup in town tonight. Parkview hosting St. Michael. This would be a Division II matchup where Jeremiah Devertel breaks off the huge pickup with a scoreless game down inside the 5. Then Micah Johnson with the direct snap and goes into the end zone. 7-0 Parkview in front. Parkview's offense would be back at it again, but this time they cough up the football. The Eagles right before halftime giving the Warriors an opportunity, and wouldn't you know, their freshman quarterback, Damon Blocker, to James Ballard for the touchdown. Tied 7-7 at the break. Parkview back to punt in the third quarter. Special teams, a big part of this game.
Oh, how about that?
Check them out, airing it out. Jake Harrington hits Devertel. That's a first down for the Eagles. And then another trick up their sleeve. Where's the ball, Jacques? It's way up the field because it's another fumble-rooski like they've run for 2 points. This is 6 points. Eagles go in front 14-7. St. Michael, not any quitting these guys. Nick Johnson takes in the kick right here, heads to the right sideline, and heads to the end zone. We're going to be tied 14-14. But wait, there's laundry. An illegal block. They take it off the board later. Parkview seals the deal as Johnson and Devertel combine. Touchdown to make it 21-7 Parkview. And that is the last score of the game as the Eagles survive a scare against St. Michael. Warriors have never won a playoff game. They certainly gave it a good run in this one, but they fall 21-7. So Parkview will face the #1 seed in Division II next week, the Cardinals of E.D. White.
Yesterday was Veterans Day. Those Parkview uniforms had me feeling patriotic. Red, white, and blue there. Division III action at Dunham. The 6-seed Tigers hosting Holy Saviour Menard. First drive for the Eagles, and Dunham would not let the passing game fly tonight. Evan Gleason with the interception. Tigers' next drive is Kalante Wilson, making it 7-0 Dunham. Scoreless for a while after that, and then the Tigers explode in the second quarter. Hayden Hand finds Aiden Lambert in the end zone for the 14-0 lead. Tigers back with the ball, and Wilson with the long run into Eagle territory. So great to see that guy back after his injury last season. Looking better than ever. Then Hand would finish off the drive with the pass to Lambert to make it 20-0 Dunham. Beautiful throw, right in stride. And still in the second quarter, Hand with another touchdown. This one to Jake Rizzo to make it 27-0. They had a good all-time tonight at Dunham, 62-9 final score in that one. And so St. Charles Catholic, Frank Monaco no longer there, but they're still rolling along. They had a bye.
So they'll be taking on the Tigers. All right, we're going to take a break here. The good news is we can go past 11 as long as you're on the app or WAFB Plus, but here on WBXH. For Jacques, I'm Steve. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Sportsline. The Lutcher Bulldogs, 6 seed in 3A, running out under their temporary lights. Remember, they lost their lights to the Hurricane Ida. Want to play at night? Got to have lights. Taking on 27 seed Carroll, and this is Dewanye Winfield. And a jailbreak, 7-0 as he just straight out houses that touchdown. Bulldogs in front 7-0, but Carroll was strong tonight. Zaylen Ford will hit Amaria Greeley, and his team's got a big first down. This is a team that had some losses at the end of the year. When you're playing Union Parish and Sterlington, that tends to happen. They were not intimidated at all to go into the dog yard, and Ford and Greeley get them down the field and into the end zone, tied the game 7-7, and that Bulldog is clearly not happy. Carroll's Ford to Margaret Blunt on the receiving side of this, and he will go down for a touchdown, wiping out a 10-7 lead. Carroll goes in front, 14-10. But good news, Bulldogs fans. Dwayne Jenkins got that motor running in the second half, and Lutcher ends up winning in the end. 31-27 was your final. They get the Lumberjacks of Bogalusa, which put up 58 points on Jennings on the other side of the bracket.
All right, let's talk about Iota and Bruley this evening. It was a 0-0 game in the first quarter. You see the coin toss and hand off to Ryder Rabelais. A little R&R for you as he almost scores. They say he goes out at the 4-yard line, and that will lead to Sammy DeQuano, the 4-yard touchdown QB keeper. He spiked the football. We're going with that now? Fine by me, but just making sure.
Under further review.
Dawson Wallace then to Owen Harmon for the touchdown. So Iota gets the equalizer. Hoff-Schooler looking on. Last play before half, Xavier Ogeron picks it off, and it's going to be a pick six. But no, it's called back. Oh, man, you can't do that.
You can spike it, but you can't take that one.
I guess so. There you go. Halftime, then Eli Hardway hits the 30-yard field goal. We go to the fourth quarter, and Iota looking for insurance. Little pump fake action there. Wallace to Harmon again, 3-yard touchdown. And Iota on the road at Bruley tonight. They go on to win a low-scoring game, 17-7 the final. And they'll get St. Martinville, who blew out McDonough 35.
The Plaquemine Green Devils Oh, let's talk about Bel Air first.
Yeah, Tony Corville in town tonight. I spoke to him at halftime of this game. He says he's lost about 14 players due to injury. Late in the first half, he says this is about his fourth-string quarterback, Josiah Granger, who's listed as a defensive back. The deep ball to Kenyon Ryan Jr. for the touchdown, 43-6 Bears. Then Bengals, Jacoby Bryant, the pass complete to Cameron Johnson. He fumbles. It's picked up by Danichles Jeter, and Jeter runs it into the end zone for the score. It's 43-12 at the half. Ben Love in town tonight with a little play-by-play action. Third quarter, here's Granger, the quarterback who just threw the touchdown. He's playing center field there for the interception. He picks it off and runs it out of bounds. And then he gets under center and hands it off to Chance Caesar for the short touchdown run. And Karen Crow tonight, they go on to roll. Do they ever? 71-20 the final score, and they'll be taking on Will Campbell and the Neville Tigers next week.
Jumped the gun on the Green Devils, but how about this? Plaquemine, a 25 seed, goes into Slidell and beats the Salmon Spartans 41-27. How about the late season surge for the Green Devils? Carver is their next opponent. Carver beating Landry Walker 17-14 down in New Orleans.
We have a Plaquemine fan in the building. I just heard him scream,
His head exploded.
happy about it. Plaquemine Green Devils, all right. So much more coming up here. Sportsline Friday night. Welcome back to Sportsline Friday night. Southern Lab taking on Hanson. Angelo Izard throws a deep pass to Darren Morris, who's out there and all by himself for the touchdown. Extra point was good, 7-0 in the first quarter. Quarterback Colin Fosho, his pass is intercepted by Dylan Day for the Kittens. Day takes it out of bounds, and the fans excited there at Mumford Stadium. That would lead to Izard handing off to Douglas Thornton to set the Kittens up at the 30-yard line. 3 plays later, Izard rolls out. Doesn't see anything he likes except running is good. Touchdown, 14-0 Southern Lab out at that point. As we take a look at the final score this evening, they win in a big-time way, 56-0, so they'll play Country Day, who won over St. Mary's.
Take you down to Morgan City. Ascension Catholic taking on Central Catholic, and Central Catholic's got a running back who looks pretty impressive. Devondre Blackburn on this play. It was the first play from scrimmage of the game, and it's the first score of the game as he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Bulldogs trailing quickly in this one, but Ascension Catholic would come back and throw the football to Calvin DeLone. This guy had quite a night tonight. That's a touchdown, and we are even up. Ascension Catholic would also play a little takeaway as Central Catholic has the ball go off their receiver's hand, and that's an interception there, and the Bulldogs, Leighton Melanson, gets it into scoring position. From there, they're going to add to their score, a little fake reverse, throw it deep, and Bryce Leonard connecting deep for the touchdown. That's Brooks Leonard hauling it in. They go in front. Back comes a touchdown for Central Catholic. Blackburn in for the touchdown, and here comes Ascension Catholic. You get the idea this was kind of a track meet. 20-20, the score at halftime. We had to go into the second half to figure out what was going to happen as Blackburn got the tying score right here. 20-20 at that point. Central Catholic couldn't keep up in the end, though. Ascension Catholic, 41-36 your final. So a win on the road means a home game in the next round against #1 seed Ouachita Christian. All right, St. Thomas Aquinas. Jacques, they played Pope John Paul II last week. Why not play him again? A home and home. They were in Slidell last week and hammered the Nite to start the playoffs. And right off the bat, you can see that it's going to be a long night for the Jaguars, who only scored 3 points in the regular season meeting. Meanwhile, the Falcons, Drew Milton to Devaki Williams. That's a 28-yard touchdown pass. The big man liking his chance to get in the end zone. Falcons up 7-0. The Jags have to resort to all sorts of strange formations. That one was with a center and no guards and no tackles. Here's another little trick play as they try the inside handoff. Yeah, nothing really worked tonight for them. Final score in this one, St. Thomas Aquinas, again, allowing them just 3 points. This time it was 33-3 instead of 35-3. So the Falcons get the Pios of Notre Dame in the next round of the Division III playoffs.
All right, next up, the Quincy. The Tigers taking on Port Allen. You see Jeremiah Dayhall throwing an interception by Taj Caesar. He's off for the touchdown. The extra point was good. We're in the fourth quarter as Port Allen was trailing 35-14. Dayhall throws a complete pass to Drew Dayhall to set them up in the red zone. 2 plays later, the pass complete from Dayhall to Gavin Gary for the score. Port Allen goes for 2, and it is going to be good, 35-22. Tigers back with the ball, though. They hand off to Caesar as he takes off and takes it to the house. 42-22 at that point. So Port Allen, it looks like they're bowing out of the playoffs this evening with this defeat. Final score, as we take a look at it, they were doubled up, 44-22, and so DeQuincy will play North Caddo. White Castle in Centerville this evening. Centerville forced to punt, and White Castle comes through to partially block it. So a big special teams play there for White Castle, taking over with great field position. White Castle has some penalties, then Hakeem Young finds Jacob Green, who goes untouched for the score. Looking over his shoulder. Extra point missed, 6-0 White Castle out in front. Centerville forced the punt, then Jacob Green with the return. It's strange, everyone just kind of staring at the ball, and here's Green who picks it up. The return, the Bulldogs think they have a touchdown, but it's called back for roughing the kicker. Let's take a look at the final score this evening in this one. It was White Castle in a big way, 49-8. They'll get LaSalle, who had a bye.
All right, we're going to say goodbye on television, but we're going to continue on the app. For Jacques Doucet, I'm Steve Schneider. We'll see you next week for the round 2, unless you're going to join us on digital. Welcome into Sportsline Friday night, extended coverage for round 1 of the playoffs. Along with Jacques Doucet, I'm Steve Schneider. We're headed up the I-55 route. A couple of pretty good teams in the Hawks of St. Helena.
Well, hey, Brittany's been free, right? So around that Kentwood area, let's celebrate the football.
Let's do it. Let's start with the Hawks of St. Helena as they were taking on Kinder. The Hawks an 11 seed, Kinder a 22 seed in 2A football. Yellow Jackets were up 14-7. Corey Griffin finding Javant Dunn for a big pickup. Then Griffin back to Dunn. This time it's going to be, a touchdown. The Hawks on the board would tie the game 14-14 in the third quarter. Yellow Jackets, though, who put up those points early, ready to answer on a 4th down. Dante Botley takes the pitch, gets the first down. Hawks defense needs to stiffen right here. Can't afford to give up another score in the fourth quarter. But on a 3rd and goal, Griffin Cooley finishes the drive for the touchdown. A fourth quarter score, and Kinder looking for a 2-point play. 22-14 is your lead. Now the Hawks are going to need to answer that. Going deep, Montrell Wright makes the Knights catch. From there, they're on the doorstep. Griffin's going to punch it in from 2 yards out. 22-20 is your score. Kinder leads, but the Hawks can't convert a 2-point play, so they're down by 2. Yellow Jackets looking to ice the game away on a 4th down, but that's a stop by Jerome Lee, so the Hawks have a chance to win this thing. They get the ball back, but Griffin picked off by Jerron Johnson, and just like that, the Yellow Jackets of Kinder shut the door on St. Helena's season in the first round. 22-20, the upset. Kinder advances to meet the winner of A-Meet and Delhi Charter.
I wonder who won that game, Steve.
I think you already know.
Here we go. Let's take you to that action. So after a Gators 3-and-out, Jalen Robinson goes deep and connects with Ashton Terrell for the huge gain. This is A-Meet on the move here. Our photographer Spencer Chrisman getting all the great action. And then next play, it's Nick Mitchell punching it in to give the Warriors a quick 7-0 advantage at that point. Gators look to answer, and Keidron Thomas with the nice run and the first down, breaking it off the right side before he is finally brought down. That would lead to later in the drive, Delhi facing 4th down, and Thomas is stopped short of the first down, and they turned it over on downs, and Is it me or the grass turning brown even quicker this year, Steve? That's playoff grass out there, and that leads to second quarter Amite facing third and long. Robinson scrambles, picks up the first down, and then Robinson, the quarterback, sneak for the score. And the Warriors extend their lead at that point to 14-0. Next drive for the Gators, and Shamar Odujai with the huge gain inside the 20-yard line coming up. Quick north and south running before Amite makes the tackle. Later on, the Gators will be facing a third down, and Chad Clark will be stopped in the backfield by Jalen Vernon coming up, and Vernon making the big play. Nice read there.
It's like an 8-yard loss.
Yeah, not what you wanted for the offensive team. Final score tonight as we take a look. The team in purple having a good old time, 48-0, a shutout victory. So they'll get Kinder.
They will have to travel, though, with Kinder pulling the upset there since they were on the road the first time. All right, MAIS, we had 3 teams still alive in the playoffs tonight. One of them was at home. That would be the Tigers of Centerville Academy taking on Canton Academy. Canton already has the lead in the third quarter, looking for more. This is Chris Hunter, who keeps the football, keeps the pile going, and gets down close to scoring range. Eventually, a few plays later, he will cap the drive with a scoring play. 99 yards they go and take a 28-12 lead. Centerville answers. Peyton Jones to John Austin Sterling. That's a Tigers touchdown. Cuts the lead to 28-18. But in the fourth quarter, first play of the ensuing drive, it's Hunter. Just get out of my way. Pushing that guy out of the way. He goes 69 yards for the touchdown. Canton eliminating Centerville. The final in that one was 35-18. Greenville Christian, who I just saw on the CBS News the other day, is going to take on Canton in the next round of the playoffs there. Oak Forest Academy was on the road tonight, and they were eliminated by Heritage Academy 28-21. Copiah Academy won on the other side. Wilkinson County Christian also defeated, so MAIS, in terms of our local teams, are out of the playoffs. All right, we had a couple teams sitting at home that'll be playing now. They had a bye in the first round. They're both number 1 seeds, the U-High Cubs and the Catholic High Bears. Catholic High waiting to see what would happen in this game between St. Aug and Char on Thursday night so they could start game planning for their battle. And this one, as you can see, early in the contest, highlights for the Purple Knights of St. Aug. That's Joshua Jackson with a nice catch right there. It sets up a scoring run for Carl Singleton from 2 yards out. Purple Knights go in front of the Eagles 7-0 that score. Ensuing kickoff, and Shaw's Jordan Evans isn't messing around. He's going 90 yards for the touchdown. Purple Knights, a little lapse on special teams there, ties the game 7-7. Later, Singleton scores again for St. Aug. That's a 1-yard touchdown, 14-7. And then, how about your special teams play? Demarion Compton, 72 yards on this punt return. So you give up a 90-yard kickoff return, you go 72 yards on the punt return. And they would add to that later. Javen Nicholas would also grab a touchdown pass. It's coming up right here into your living room. And a 5-yard touchdown pass to Jackson. St. Aug just poured it on in this one. 52-14. St. Aug with the win. So Catholic High, the 1 seed against St. Aug, the 8 seed in the Division I playoffs. St. Paul's and Scotlandville is the other half of that bracket, as the Hornets also had the first week off.
All right, let's talk about a Division II preview. Turlings, they were taking on De La Salle. Trailing 17-0 entering the third. Rebs looking for any offense. Preston Welch finds Kentrell Prejean. It's good. It's a good decision, and he's off to the races. Prejean makes a few moves and falls short of the goal line. Rebs would get a field goal to make it 17-3. De La Salle on their next drive was facing a first and Metairie, it says, but Miles Sider decides to pick it all up, 40 yards and then some. He gets the Cavs into the red zone. A field goal puts them back up by 17, and then fourth quarter Rebels looking for some magic late on fourth down. Welch to Prejean again. He gets just enough for the first, but later Prejean looking up the field. He is intercepted by the Cavs' Drew Poche, and De La Salle won this one rather convincingly. 34-3 was the final score. So U-High was on a bye this week. U-High will take on De La Salle.
And Catholic and U-High aren't the only 2 teams that sat at home. The Episcopal Knights also did that. So did Newman. That is a matchup next week. The Knights, the 4 seed at home against Arch Manning and the Newman Greenies. And in 1A, Slaughter Community Charter, the Knights had the first week off with a bye. They will take on the West St. John Rams, who beat Block 28-0. So that should put a wrap on week 1 of the high school football playoffs.
Here's something silly to finish the show. You had that school, Canton?
Canton Academy.
So if you play at Canton and you make the Hall of Fame, can I say I'm in the Hall of Fame at Canton?
Play in Tom Benson Stadium, right?
Man, that was a show. That was a lot of great football.
It was. It was. Congratulations to our producers, editors, photographers, and everything. We get all the credit for standing out here, but a lot goes into it.
No doubt about it. We're kind of the faces. We've got the offensive line and everybody else behind us there in the studio doing a great job. And this is only 1 week of the playoffs, right? We got another 3 or 4 or whatever weeks to go. So
that's correct. All right, we're going to say goodnight on the digital portion of Sportsline Friday night. For Jacques Doucet, that great crew we talked about, I'm Steve Schneider. Will you see back here next week? Week 2, Sportsline Friday night.